Now, Mark Wayne Mullins was out on with Caitlin Collins yesterday and had an exchange with her about the Schumer shutdown.
For me, we have leftovers. This should have been taken care of October 1st. Chuck Schumer never brought a spending bill to the floor. He had every one of them by July 31st. He refused to hear one appropriation bill, not one. So now we have leftovers that we got to deal with from the Biden administration. How long do we deal with that? We're not going to balance the budget off of when we're 6 months into this FY25, which ends September 30th. At some point, we need to cut the umbilical cord from the Biden administration, say, okay, we can't deal with your mess anymore. We need to be looking to the policies and to the fiscal responsibility that Trump can bring. And so that's FY26. So the longer we deal with FY25, which is what we're doing right now, which should have already been taken care of, mind you, on October 1st, the longer we do it, the more it distracts us from delivering what the American people wanted November 3rd.
Did Republicans get anything out of this?
Out of this? Not
because you're also voting for the same levels that Biden and Schumer.
Of course, I understand that completely, but I want to start focusing on Trump's policies. I want to quit dealing with Biden's policies. We can't. It's a distraction right now. Okay, let's go ahead, pass it. Let's fund it for the rest of the year. Start working on Trump's policies through Trump's appropriations with a Republican-led House and a Republican-led Senate with a Republican-led White House. Because that's where we can get change. You're not going to affect change halfway through a fiscal year already that the money was spent by Biden and that administration. We can make real change in FY26.
We'll see what that looks like. Senator Mullen, thank you for joining us.
They'll just divert the funds into Trump-aligned priorities and move the money around. Now, the Democrats, my strategy would be, if I were a Democrat, to just get back in there and claw back, just articulate what that money is for, just appropriate it. Just like we saw this week with the National Endowment of Democracy, whatever that fake organization is. And they were explaining that and actually Doc Master Elliott pulled this up for us, but he went and found the actual language in the congressional bill that said that they get the money specifically. Okay, $100 million goes to National Endowment of Democracy to promote democracy. But it's in there, right? It's in the bill. Congress passed the legislation that said they get that amount of money. So there's a receipt for it. So Trump and the administration had to pay that out. If you're a Democrat, you don't add any money, right? You don't say, we're not going to increase the money. We're just going to go in there and just add a spreadsheet, just add one amendment. These agencies will be funded. See spreadsheet X. Spreadsheet X is the grift sheet. The White House, blah, 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 blah. Everybody gets their money, right? Something like that happens. And then I think that their arguments in court start to evaporate, just like what we saw with the National Endowment of Democracy. But Democrats are very upset about this. Tim Walz is out, and he used to be a teacher, apparently, for whatever reason, and went to China a bunch of times and taught there too. All right. Walz is also saying that the Department of Education being cut is just reprehensible. And I think this dude might be running for president again. Booty's considering it. Kamala's considering it. And there's a bunch of people who are trying to do this shtick again, but here's what they sound like.
These folks don't want to be involved in politics. They want to teach kids. Yeah. They chose this profession because it's what they love. And now they've been thrown into the middle of this absolutely ridiculous fight. And it will go just as well as the tariffs have gone, just as well as the stock market's going, just as well as egg prices have gone. But this time it's our kids. Look, let's just name it what it is. The president has no idea how education works. He has no idea how these work.
The current educators are doing a great job. Our kids are geniuses, outperforming students from all over the world, aren't they? So we should just keep doing the same crap over and keep smashing their faces into pronoun woke ideology. Great idea there, Tim.
No idea how any of this works. Reallocating them to what? These are professionals that understand. These are civil rights attorneys that understand and making sure we're getting it right.
What do they understand?
These are educational experts that research. When we talk about research, we're not reading Newsmax online.
No, you're reading trans articles that say you should drape your classroom in propaganda.
Huge studies to show what brain science looks like and how you get an impact.
These
people have no idea on this, that this is just a random dude who came in and said, cut money. And this is a place, it is a place where we spend money because it's our future.
Yeah, we're going to spend it a lot more wisely now, and our kids are going to be much smarter for it without the indoctrination machines that have perverted the education system. We're all suffering the consequences of it. You can see much of the response to the public education system is now revealing itself in our Congress, in our leadership, who can't think or speak or talk or walk or function and create a Congress that does anything useful other than spend our money. All right, so that's Tim Walz. So we've got more. Also, I think we saw. All right, so I had never seen Michelle Obama's brother before. And when I first watched this, I had to do a double take on it. I thought this was fake or something, like how they make those TikTok videos where like it swaps the people's faces or something. So this is her new podcast. This is her brother, and that is her brother, Michelle Obama. And I'm here with my big brother, Craig. Hey, everybody. We're here because we're excited to announce the launch of our new podcast. Great. But it's real. That's really her bro. And that's really Michelle Obama. Wild. I literally, like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I thought it was like AI or something. We've seen a lot of these videos because it looks like Michelle a little bit, right? You're like, wait, what? All right, they're related. So obviously they're going to look alike. Got it. Now, they started a podcast and something weird's going on. I think I saw Jesse Waters yesterday did a segment on this. And in the podcast from Michelle, she was like ripping on Obama a lot. Hubby Barack. We haven't seen them together too frequently lately. In fact, I wonder if Jesse posted about that, if he shared his segment on that, because it was a good segment. They listened to it, so, we don't have to. And let's see if he posted a little clip on this. Yeah, he did. Here, let's just listen to this, because it was quite good from his crew. They listened to her podcast and put together a montage of what it sounded like. Here was Jesse Waters last night.
About both Jimmy Carter's funeral and Trump's inauguration. And last week, Barack went to a basketball game all by himself.
Yeah, what the heck?
Turns out Michelle's been busy working on a new podcast, and so far, it's been a flop. The first 2 episodes have been up all day and only gotten a few thousand views on YouTube. Half of them were probably primetime producers. But still, Michelle's spilling the family secrets, like how Barry gets on her nerves. Listen.
Barack, he had to adjust to what on time was.
Because he was on that island time.
Well, but I've got this husband who's like, when it's time to leave, it's 3:00. He's getting up and going to the bathroom. And I was like, dude, like 3 o'clock departure means you've done all that. Don't start looking for your glasses at the 3:00 departure. But he's over 30 years of marriage. But that was you must adjust.
Yeah, you better.
Michelle says her husband doesn't really like people.
Or else.
Doesn't know how to talk to him and doesn't even really care.
When a girlfriend comes to visit, it's usually you got to stay for 2 days because it's going to take us
so much
to
time.
Check up. Now, Barack's come in, he's come out, and y'all still talking. He'll sit down for 5 minutes, be like, how are the boys? And the flip side of my husband, right? Because he golfs, and golfing takes as long as the first session of it takes 5 hours to golf. He'll golf with his buddies, come back and be like, how's X? He's good. What'd y'all talk about? Nothing.
To break it to Michelle, but guys don't get deep on the course. Normally, when someone rags on their spouse, there's usually a little love. Jimmy, he never listens, but he looks cute in his suit. But that wasn't cute. Did she drop this podcast to distance herself from Barack so she can run for president? Every politician's a podcast right before they launch their next
Even
campaign.
Ted Cruz did it.
Looking at you, Gavin. And it turns out Michelle wasn't the only one who had problems with Barack when he was in office. Michelle says the kids were embarrassed too.
Every year we'd have the turkey pardoning. And that was the one thing that the girls would do at Barack was to go stand next to him when he pardoned this turkey. Yes. And it was cute when they were little. But as they got older, you could see on their faces in the shots of them thinking, I would just poke my eyes out. Just right now, just get me out of here. I'm standing with my father telling these stupid jokes next to a turkey. So by the time we got to the last year, the last turkey pardoning, they were done. They were just like, I'm out. I'm not going.
Michelle also revealing that she didn't want her husband running for president. That makes 2 of us.
Being married to the president of the United States thing that none of us banked on. We knew Barack was smart and ambitious, but you talked me into supporting his run.
I did.
Because I was definitely like, nope, no way. This is crazy. We've done enough crazy stuff.
That's right. Barack came to me and I can't convince your sister to go along with us. And I'm like, well, go along with what? I think I'm going to run for president. And I was like, what? I convinced you to not penalize him for being really good at what he does.
Man, would have been nice if they didn't have that conversation. Michelle was right. They should have sat it out. But that's their podcast. So that's what they're doing now. And it does feel a little bit weird that she's doing it with her bro. And there's no even appearance of Barack, right? Like, wouldn't you do something together? Like your first episode on Michelle Obama's new podcast would be with Barack. Wasn't that obvious? Hey, my wife's launching a new podcast. I'm the president. Hey, honey, let's just do this fun conversation where we love each other and kick it off. Episode number 1. A bunch of people would come to it. It'd be like fun and loving. But now it's just like, I had to be dragged into this. And it felt like that, honestly. It felt like she hated her role as the first lady and hated most of America too. So this is her channel. She's up to 18,000 subscribers now as of this morning. Let's see if her video crossed 52,000 views. Okay, getting up there, a little bit higher numbers. Probably a lot of people tuning in just to see the bloodbath. But for the first lady of the United States, her podcast should have 1 million views. It's like nothing, not even close to where it should be. It should be 1 million views. And these other ones, it's just going to continue to get worse. So that's what they're up to today. And they're getting all the attention they deserve.